Yeah, thank you. Thank you for such a rich description. When I read your book, I read the book recently because I talked to you, right? I was one of the people that told you you're crazy when you were writing the book. And I knew the book was going to be very strong and difficult. So there was this confusion, in the part you read, very beautiful things, the Atlantic forest, the jackfruit, and also very strong, aggressive, violent aspects, everything entangled and together. And I was afraid of reading it, I have to say. And after I started reading it, I couldn't stop. I read it in English and in Portuguese. Two things were very striking to me as soon as I read the book. The trauma and memory, as you described it, these two aspects, something that is very strong to me in a rape case, in a violation case. Women are forced to relive the trauma, a trauma that they want to forget. So it's sort of schizophrenic. You want to forget it, but at the same time, people tell you, only with your memory we will find the perpetrator. So you have to remember the tattoos, all the skin marks, and you have to repeat it over and over again to your family, to the police, to a physician. And also the memory, how our memories are built. What remains? What doesn't? What do we forget? This is very strong. And right in the beginning of the book, there's also the medicalization of the body and the trauma. So it's not just about going to a physician's office to see that maybe you have a biologic physical mark, a disease maybe that's going to mark you for the rest of your life. So retrovirals she has to take because of HIV and the danger of other diseases as well. And this is also connected to guilt because she was jogging at a specific time of the day, right? And by chance, on that day, she decided to jog at a different time. Maybe the feeling of guilt. Why did I do that? Why did I decide to do that if I had not done that? And in her case, her family was very warm and welcoming. No one asked her these questions that could make her feel guilty. There's another thing we had talked about. When you were writing the book, the body of the woman, this was a woman that had been raped and she was 80. So it's as if a woman's body never ceases to be an object over which one can exert violence from a very young age until a more mature age. I'm not sure I'm asking a question, but you've talked a lot about this element of trauma, the medicalization of her body. I don't know if this was something that was also a source of violence in her case. And I don't know if you would like to comment. Yeah, I can say some things and we just follow along. Well, the trauma. And as I was saying, something really impressed me. It was not just a memory. When I started interviewing her, I realized that, sure, we want to forget, but we never forget. You can't forget. If you go through a huge violence, you will never forget it. There's no way around it. But, in my mind, it was a negative memory that could haunt her time and time again. I couldn't even think it was every day. I thought it was a memory. And when she spoke, I realized it's not just a memory. She was reliving the event every day. Her body would go through that every day. So it was an ongoing violence. And that's what characterizes trauma as well. It comes back in the present. It's not a past event. It's not something that happened and stayed in the past. It's something that follows the person forever. And I wanted to work with this aspect in the book. And as I heard her memories, I realized that some aspects also diluted. Some things she was not sure of. Some things got entangled or confused. When you witness a crime, the police wants you to go immediately to the police station. As time goes by, you are far removed of the precision of your account. So, of course, with time, things get sort of entangled in one's mind. And this is an exercise I did myself. Let me shut my eyes and try to describe the face of a person I haven't seen in a long time. You know, details are very difficult. You know, these mug shots, you always start with the details. What is special about this face? Or, you know, different? You start with the small details so that the police can draw the sketch of the criminal. So from the smallest details, then to the overall image. And the details make a difference in the police sketch. However, our memory mixes these details up. And I wanted to work with the imprecision, with these blurred images that come and go. You know, sometimes the glove was black and the other times the glove was blue. It's a recurring topic in my work. And in all my books, you see that somehow. Memory is one of my main obsessions. As a topic, but also as a form. You know, a fragmented language is an attempt in itself to reproduce memory. Memory has voids. It has things we forget. So some passages are very wordy, such as the one we read. We don't even have commas or full stops. And at the same time, there's room for void, for emptiness, for voids that cannot be filled or that we cannot fill.